get in the auditorium, you would know that music so well. I didn't even have to conduct that way.
The most awesome thing was seeing you go to the back of it.
Yeah, and the thing is, the parents would love it. For me, that was everything.
Hey, to me, the other kids were loving it. That was the real thing.
I had
Mayor Schaefer got standing ovations in junior high school.
That's what it was all about. I didn't care about even the applause. Just seeing the parents enjoying what you were doing. So a lot of stories along that line. There was a time that I had the whole band in the auditorium. I rarely rehearsed in the yard before a program, but I had everybody in there. It had to be one of the earlier years because it wasn't the biggest of the bands. It was about 90 kids.
We had sweaters.
And Miss Coleman, sweet Miss Coleman, she's gone. They called her the bank.
Oh, yeah.
But she passed away.
Yes.
She's the best principal I ever had. And she came in the auditorium, and she was so, I'm telling you, she was so proud of the band. And she was in a battle to keep Hamilton open instead of Northern Parkway. They were going to close one of the schools.
I did not know that.
And she came to me one day, and she said, Mr. Kocher, she said, I'm your agent. I want this band out of this building as much as you can get them out. I said, but Miss Kocher, they hate me already in this building. You know, some of the teachers. And she said, I'll take care of that. So she told me on down the highway, she said one of the main reasons they kept Hamilton open and not Northern Parkway, which they used for offices, was because of the band. Almost totally. Because when the kids would go out, they said, people would tell her, and this is why Mayor Schaefer made a comment about how much he liked the band. He said, they are the nicest kids. They're happy. They seem to be enjoying their music, and he was knocked over by them. And sometimes when they would call the gal that headed up the recreation parks, an older woman, she was a sweetheart lady, Mayor Schaefer would direct people, when they would call the office and they'd say, we need a band, They'd say, get that band. He'd say, get the band, that's my band.
Why? Because you played Maryland, not Maryland.
But they said, well, we want a high school band. He said, trust me, you want this band. So you guys had that kind of reputation, and it meant a lot to, in a lot of ways. It meant a lot to me. When I would drive home after the frenzy was over and everything was back in the room, and some guys in this band wouldn't leave me until everything was packed up. I'd be fine. I'd be fine with the world. Because everybody enjoyed what you did. That's all I needed. And I knew you were great kids, and there was no way for me to ever tell you back then how much I appreciated everything, but judge you all worked hard, teach you worked hard, and it was something special, and that was it for me. I'll tell you one more story, and it'll be like an asterisk. As the years went on in the city, I went to Canton, and I had a really superb band there, and they had the same kind of open frenzy and impact on the school, and it was never Hamilton, but it was pretty good. And then I spent a year at college, and that was something pretty good too. But I'd gone out of the system for a year because I hacked his finger off with a lawnmower and cut my grass. And
I remember walking into that school and you saying, "Who are you?" Well, I'm Solomon.
So the music office called me and they wanted to know if I wanted to stay in the system or get into another school. I said, well, I need to get beyond this finger. And that's so I taught a year in Harford County, chorus. And so I said, yeah, okay. And they asked me to go to Herring Run Junior High, which was then renamed and called Thurgood Marshall Middle School, a Scott Middle School. And so I said, well, she said, we need, please, they begged me for it. She said, please, we've had 2 band directors there. and it just didn't work. It wasn't working. I said, well, I'll take a shot. So I went over, and when I went into that school, man, that office was like a zoo. And I'm just sitting there on the bench, you know, and I'm waiting for the principal to come out. And I'm waiting for the principal, I'm waiting, you know, and nobody's paying me much attention. What's your name? What's your name? And down the long hallway comes this tall black woman with close brown hair, and it was Mrs. Hill. Yeah, I almost had a heart attack. And
Deja vu.
and she did like this too. You just probably didn't put in because I didn't do anything then. But she walked over and she looked at me. I said, oh, God. She looked at me and she started to smile. And she looked over at her secretaries and she said, well, ladies, I think we'll have a band. She had me in Hamilton, but she liked me over there.
That's what I was worried about.
I have bragged to people my whole life about how if Mayor William Donald Schaefer